After scaling my business past $250,000 a month and 3xing my overall net profit, meaning profit to the bottom line, I want to show you exactly how I done it, how I navigated it, and what I learned, and the biggest breaking point, the biggest problem that you have right now as a home service business. So in this video, I want to show you how you can scale past. If you're stuck between $50,000 and $250,000 in revenue, then this video is for you. So my name is Brian Shepard. I'm the founder and CEO of the Shepard Group. My main goal with these videos is help you build a massively successful home service business so I can change not only your life, but your family's life as well, so you can leave a larger impact on this world. And I want to help you do that and become more profitable. So in the last video, we talked about CAC, cost per acquisition. Here, you probably have around 100 clients. That means you're probably serving quite a bit of clients. And I hear a lot of contractors say, I want to do every heat pump, I want to do every roof, I want to do every single thing in our area. I want to make sure they do business with us. Look, I'm going to tell you why that is a flawed mentality. Yes, you want to take over market share, but do you want that heat pump that pays $7,000 to $8,000? No. Do you want that landscape job that should pay $1,500 that pays $800? No. Do you want that roof that should pay 20 grand that only pays 12 grand? No. You don't want it. The truth is you want all the profitable jobs. So where I had to shift my focus is not quantity, but quality. I had to increase the quality of the work that we were doing, our systems, our processes, and not become a volume-based business. Because that is not how you want to make your money unless you're an Amazon or something like that. Not as a home service business. I want to make as much profit as I possibly can. Now, during this stage, you're probably doing anywhere, like I said, from $50,000 to $250,000 in revenue. That means you probably have anywhere from 7 to over 20 employees. Now, if you have 20, I would say you're probably overstaffed at this point. Depends on what kind of service you're in and what you're doing, but you want to make sure you don't get too many people on staff because then your overall profitability goes down because your costs go too high. You probably have 1 to 3 sales representatives. Here, you probably only need 1 or 2, but you may have 3. You probably have an office staff. You may have an office manager, or you may be wearing all the hats at this point. But you're still stuck at a negative profit or maybe very little profit. Now, and you may be running a well-oiled machine and be at $50,000 a month, but I'm going to tell you, when I was at this point and I was struggling to break through, before I 3 times my profit, I would pull up my bank app every single day and I'd look at it and be like, why isn't my account growing? So if you're stuck between this $50,000 and $250,000 a month, I want to show you exactly what you need to do to break past that break point. And the answer is you need to focus all your attention. You still need to focus on CAC, your cost to acquire a client, but you need to focus on what I like to call lifetime value or lifetime gross profit. Now, the reason why I like to use lifetime gross profit over this term that you hear people use a lot is because I don't care about my revenue. Okay? You can look at revenue numbers and you can say, hey, they look great, but then when you get down to profit, that's why your bank account's not going up, because you're not scaling profitably. So I look at a term called lifetime gross profit. So how do we calculate that? I'm going to give you 2 examples of how to calculate lifetime gross profit and show you what you need to make sure of the correlation between your CAC and your lifetime gross profit. So as you scale and you acquire more clients and you get better at acquisition, then you can do this profitably and you can scale your business profitably and hopefully your bank account starts going up. So with that being said, we talked about it. CAC is your ad spend plus your cost to make the ad plus your sales commission. That's your CAC, okay? So your lifetime gross profit, what is that? That is the lifetime profit that you're going to make off of every single client that comes in your business. So I'm going to give you two examples here. The first example is going to be for someone that's selling recurring services, and the second example is going to be for someone who has one-off type services. So the recurring services, let's say you sell plant health care or some kind of pest management service, okay? So let's just say that you charge $200 a month for that. $200 a month, okay? We're going to put a month. So we'd have to times that by 12. That's going to give us $2,400. Okay, everybody with me? $200 a month times 12 is $2,400. Now, this would be our lifetime value, but what is the lifetime gross profit? Now we need to take away how much it cost us to fulfill this. So let's say it cost us $600 a year to fulfill this. Okay, $600 a year to fulfill this. That means we're going to be right at $1,800. $1,800, okay? Now, this is going to be recurring, so we're going to call this recurring. And we're going to call this one-off. Okay? Now, I'm going to give you a one-off example. Okay, so here we know that our lifetime gross profit on this recurring service is $1,800. Let's say that we do, you're a roofer, and you do a $10,000 roof. So we're going to say $10,000 on a roof. Okay, we do a roof for $10,000. Let's say we have $5,000 in materials on that roof, and then we have another, let's say $4,500 on labor. Now that's probably an exaggerated labor number, but you get the idea. That means that we have about $500 in profit. Okay, that's our lifetime gross profit of this client. Now, here's where it gets tricky. What a lot of people do is they grow and scale a business. They keep acquiring more clients. They keep their prices the same. They keep doing everything the same way they used to do it. Just to discover that their profitability per client is not as high as it should be. And so I want to share with you a little formula, and it's the LTV to CAC ratio. So LTV to CAC ratio should be at least 3 to 1. What does that mean? That means I want to make sure that my lifetime gross profit, this number right here, that's how much I charge for the service, and minus all my expenses, my COGS, is at least 3 times the number it's costing me to acquire a client. So what if right here, the number we haven't talked about yet is our CAC. What's our CAC? Well, let's say I spend, let's just say I take my ad spend, I divide it by my leads, and then so I divide it by how many leads I got, so I get my cost per lead, then I back out, okay, how much out of that I'm selling, I'm closing 50% of those leads, and then I start subtracting, and then I start adding on. So I got that number, that's the actual how much I'm spending in ad spend per lead, and then cost to make an ad, I add that in there per lead, then I add my sales commission in there, I divide it by how many jobs we landed. So then I come up to a number of, let's say it's 500. It costs me $500 to acquire a client. Now, in this example here, okay, the top example, you're selling plant health care, pest management services, or any kind of recurring service if this is you. Now, this isn't a correlation saying, hey, there's higher margins here, higher margins here. I'm just giving you two examples depending on what you sell, and your business may sell both, okay? So let's say the first example, okay? We're going to put our lifetime gross profit here is $1,800. and our cost is 500. That's our cost per acquisition. Is this a 3-to-1 ratio? Is this number 3 times that number? Yes. Okay? But in this second example, it cost us $500 to acquire a client, but then we only make $500. Now, we took out our COGS here, our cost of goods sold, but we didn't take out SG&As, like, all the back end stuff, like our office, administrative, stuff like that. What happens when we start taking that out? Our business is actually operating at a negative profit. And that's because you don't know what your LTV to CAC ratio is. You want to make sure in this level 2 home service business, if you're stuck between $50,000 to $250,000 a month and your profit isn't as good as it should be, you need to focus all your time on making sure that you acquire clients profitably and you know how to increase the lifetime gross profit of that client. That is the answer. That is the solution to all your problems. If you can acquire clients properly and make sure that each client pays you 3 times the cost that it costs you to acquire a client in profit, not in gross, but in profit and net income, then you can scale to the moon. But you must start with the foundation. So guys, in later videos, we're going to be talking about breakpoint 3 and how to get past that above $250,000 a month. And we're also going to show you exactly how you can decrease this number, your cost per acquisition, and how you can increase your lifetime gross profit. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a comment. Let me know what your favorite part is. What are some of your takeaways? Give me a thumbs up, and maybe if you like this, maybe consider hitting that subscribe button. Guys, I appreciate you, and we'll see you in the next video.